We are talking with Sherry Edwards of, her website is soundhealthinc.com. She is the founder of Human BioAcoustics, this amazing ability that apparently some people have. Sherry, you were telling us about the day you discovered you had this ability. Could you continue to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was in a hearing and speech testing lab, and the fellow who was testing my hearing came in and wanted to know what was going on because he couldn't really test my ears. The equipment couldn't handle it. And I did a sound for him, and he thought that what was going on with this is that a sound that the samurai warriors did centuries ago, right before they attacked an opponent, was designed to reduce their blood pressure. And it was some ancient information that had been passed down through ages and centuries. And he had high blood pressure, and he wanted to start a family. The medication he was on rendered him impotent, so there wasn't a lot of family he could start that way. And he suggested that we put together a research project to see if I could find a sound for him and the other people that could get them off the medication. And that was the first project, and sure enough, we could, and it just kind of snowballed from there that we began to look at what my voice and ears were doing in combination, and then doing a computer program for that, and it just snowballed until it's an entire technology that really is an option, a very viable option to the health system, the failing health system that we have today. And yes, I have this talent, and yes, we got it into a technology, but what I really think is going on is because I had this opportunity to live out in the boonies without restriction, I somehow tapped into this universal knowledge. And I think anybody that's out in the boonies off the grid now can tap into this same information. And it's what they're really talking about from the 14th century and before that, centuries ago, that this information is part of our genetics. And I just happen to be lucky enough to be the radio for the people and bring it out to them. Because somebody can ask me a question about it, and I don't know the answer to it, and all of a sudden my voice is answered, and I'm over there in the corner watching me answer, and I'm thinking, well, that's good information. I got to go write that down. So we teach this to people, and right now we have attorneys working on providing us a structure, and what we want to do is we have thousands of templates. We want to teach people to use these computer programs and give them the computer programs and the class and the information and set up these communities all over the U.S. so that we can take what the government is offering and say, hey, you go over there in the corner and do it. We don't want anything to do with it. You guys just go over there and leave us alone because we're going to do our own thing. And it's going to be health for the people, by the people, because we can look at predictive things. The two things we want to do right now is give away the frequencies of the antidotes for the swine flu and provide people with a way to tell how they're being damaged by these flu shots if the government forces them to do it, like they did in 2007 in Maryland with the guns and the dogs. Mm-hmm. And the other one is to help the returning soldiers. I think it's atrocious that the government is not helping them any more than they are. And we have found a way to do that. We've done two projects with the Army, one on closed head injury for traumatic brain injury. We know the frequencies that show the injury. We know the frequencies to provide back. There hasn't been a big study like thousands of people, been small studies. But people can help us do the studies, and then we can also tell there's 8 things that are common with these soldiers that are returning that have post-traumatic stress disorder, and we want to train people to take these programs to their community and set up that alternative reality of health care that the government can't stick their fingers in if we put it together in a way that it's a private network. And I think I want to call it Guardians of the People.
Yeah, oh, I love that. What an exciting opportunity for all of us. How long, Sherry, do you anticipate this to take before you can unveil this for the rest of us to get involved?
We're hoping to have the first class about it this Sunday. And if I have no staff over the weekend, but if people will write to me personally, and they could write to me at Sherry, SHARRY, on air, so I'll know it came from the radio, at gmail.com, I will personally see that they get an invitation to Sunday's class. Now, class is limited in the amount of people we can take. We can only take 90 people at a time. So if you sign up to be there, don't be not showing up and not allow somebody else to take your place. And if we get more invitations than we can handle, we'll open another class and another class to get the foundation together for people for this private network, this guardian network. So we don't have to endure what's happening here with modified foods, and they're trying to take our well water away from us, at least here in Ohio, and tax us to death. And it's more than I want to take. And it's time people stood up and said, enough's enough. And people need to just get up off their complacency.
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to... It seems like, this is Jeff Forguff again, it seems like for some reason it takes an awful lot to get people to get up off that couch, turn that TV off to do that, but I really like your attitude. I've got the same anger and just, I just want to slap my head, hand against my head and say, what is the deal with that? But, Sherry, if you could tell us a little bit more, I'm listening to us talk here, and this is just fascinating. I just want to know a little bit more how exactly this all works. How you were talking about the number matrix and the voice, and that really has me interested, what you meant by that, and how this is connected to reverse speech. Can you tell us a little bit about some of that?
Well, it's about the harmonics in the voice. Like I just did Big John's voice before the show, and I did yours on a commercial. You have the energy of A, the frequency of A in your voice, and that means that everything you touch, you want to gather all the information, reorganize it, and give it back out to people. And I don't really know you, but that's what the computer says is your personality.
Well, I think the technology works.
Yeah, I'm sold already.
Yeah.
And Big John has a duality going on. His prime number is F. He wants to make a plan, and he wants to get it done. And he wants to physically get it done. And he's leaving his spirituality to his mental process because he needs to take this to the people. He doesn't love people one at a time. He loves humanity, and he wants humanity to have the best it can have, and he's just willing to get out there and work and do it.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Thanks, Sherry.
We are speaking with the most fascinating guest I have ever had on this show.
Wow.
It is Sherry Edwards, and her website is Sound Health Inc. That's INC.com. Sherry, as soon as I'm done with this show, I'm linking to you, whether you like it or not. And I encourage everybody out there to do it and make this go viral, because this is powerful stuff. And you're talking about sound and resonance. You're really resonating with my soul, because I am just so pumped about this. I'm a solution-oriented guy, and I see this as the solution for health, the entire health problems that